I think you have to think about Donald Trump. A lot of people judged Hillary Clinton to have won all those debates. I did as well. She had the substance. She actually knew the facts. Like, she knew the information. It was a jump ball election, so they each had sort of similar bars they had to clear for different reasons. But people have to remember that fundamentally, since John F. Kennedy, debates are a TV show, right? Even more so than other than this year, the conventions are a TV show. It really is a television program. Kennedy had the style that could completely outwit the idea of Nixon. Nixon had the experience, but Kennedy was a better television star. Mm-hmm. Donald Trump, what we learned, and those blockbuster pieces in the New York Times were absolutely jaw-dropping, not because we didn't know the information, but the extent to which the entire edifice was false. That the money didn't come from anything about real estate.
It's all about TV.
It's all about TV.
Yes,
and the thing is that Donald Trump doesn't have a lot of skills, particularly when it comes to business or being, the president, the things you need to be president. But he is good on TV.
Yeah.
And the first book the book that I recently did, I actually interviewed somebody from that was a part of The Apprentice, who told a very similar story than was told in the Times. That when they first showed up, and this was for the auditions in Trump Tower, what they were astounded by was how a bit run down Trump Tower was, and how they were really surprised. They were expecting it to be glittering and gleaming, but it was actually a bit run down. Then they walked into the set that Mark Burnett's team had created. And that was the beautiful set that we all saw in The Apprentice. And again, the entire thing was an artifice that was really about him being a celebrity on The Apprentice and that attracting money to him, that allowing him to do the licensing deals, that creating wealth, because he wasn't good at the other bit. But what this person said to me was the way that Donald Trump would prepare for The Apprentice. He wanted it to seem like he just listened to everybody in the boardroom, took in their plans, watched what they did, paid attention, and then made an assessment as to who should be fired. But that really wasn't the way it worked. It was all a production. We know what reality TV is. Producers say, no, we need to fire this person versus that person. There were debates on who should be fired. But what he was good at was a few lines that he was given to say that sounded Donald Trumpy. He could nail that. And so Trump is good at that. So if you feed him 3 or 4 good zingers, which he used on Hillary Clinton, do you think he didn't prepare for this? Of course he did. And so all that his team has to do is prepare a few zingers that are intended to throw Joe Biden off, and then see if Joe Biden can handle it.
Well, it's not all they have to do, but that's the way they can most play to his strengths.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what they need to do. Whereas Joe Biden is coming in and attempting to project what it looks like to be a president, which, of course, he knows. He's been vice president. He's been with he actually knows that job and how to be that.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.